All right, guys, welcome back to Survival Living here. So today's video, well, we got Ted Nugent. Not here on the channel, unfortunately. Although I'm a huge fan of his music. I grew up listening to it. Ted Nugent has also been very politically outspoken here for the last several years that I know of. And today is when I come across this here. This is a video where he's talking about the trillions of dollars that has been, uncovered, that was, hidden away in the government, and he's speaking out against the use of it and that it needs to be brought back to the American people. I will go ahead and play this for you guys right fast.
Donald Trump, I love you. But if you're saving us trillions of dollars in otherwise fraudulent, illegal, power-abusing waste of our taxes, you say you found trillions of our wasted, ripped-off tax dollars, then give them back to us. They're not yours, Donald Trump. I love you, Donald, but they're not the government's money. That's our money. I would say in a general calculation that what I've heard about the great Donald Trump, and he is great compared to the other game players, the other presidents. This guy's bold. This guy's cocky. Love bold and cocky. He's got a flame-throwing middle finger. But if you found trillions of our dollars and you're getting trillions invested back, then give it to the people that Uncle Sam stole it from.
So, guys, put it in the comments there. Let me know what you guys think. I don't see the government returning this money to the American people. I just don't. But what I would like to see, is possible. We get a tax break. I'm talking not just on your taxes. I'm talking about we don't pay taxes for a couple of years as American people. I'm talking about sales tax, tax on your land, tax on your paycheck. Yeah, where you sit there, bust your ass all week, work overtime to get the job done, and the government just takes from you all the time. That would be great. We're talking over $1 trillion. Every hardworking American that's actually working could really use that break. And I'm not talking about just something at the end of the year. I'm talking about we do not pay taxes for a couple of years. I think that'd be freaking awesome. I want to go ahead and go into the next story here, guys. This here kind of ticked me off a little bit. I'm going to get into this. First, I had people reach out to me because they know I'm a welder, iron worker, shipyard. I work in shipyards. I do everything with my hands. I've been doing it for a very long time. The robotic welding machines that are being pushed more and more, people are contacting me and say, you're going to lose your job. No, I'm not going to lose my job. Okay, I'm not the type of work I do. These videos, hopefully I found it up here for you guys, shows optimal conditions in a shop, clean steel, they program, and these robotic welders have been around for a very long time, so it's nothing new underneath the sun for guys like me. It's been around before I was alive. I'm 46 years old. They have not taken over yet. These machines, they get set up their parameters, they make a weld, and they say we're gonna lose our jobs over this. It's not. Okay, one, as a welder, people that comment that are not welders. They don't know the aspect of what we actually have to do is not just melting shit together. We're watching the steel the entire time. We have to react and change our patterns while we are welding because steel gets hot. There could be some type of impurity. Anything can and will happen. And guess what? The welding machines we're using are ancient, even the new ones, and they F up. And when they do, you got to be able to figure that out. So these machines that do these little 6-inch welds, whatever, they're not going to replace us at all. They might be utilized in a shop, manufacturing companies like vehicles and stuff for spot welds, little seam welds. Yeah, and they've been used for years, all right? But up on the steel, out in the ships, all this stuff, guys, you can't get that equipment up there. Trust me, you can't. Another reason I say they're never going to take over because the people that are saying that have never been on a job site up in the air off of beams trying to get a weld in, and the slightest slip, you're going down. You're not getting these machines up there. Just not. So just want to go and say you don't have to worry about that. But to tie in to what I'm irritated at, there should be a pop-up there for you guys. Let's see if I can pull it up here. Trump wants skilled foreign workers to train Americans, then return home. This is his defense on the H-1B visa program. Now, I understand bringing in people on work visas to work here in the United States. What ticks me off, and I'll go into detail why this is ticking me off here. In an interview with Fox News, Bassett said the policy direction is clear. The U.S. will continue importing highly skilled labor, but only as a transitional workforce. The president's vision here is to bring in overseas workers who have the skills 3, 5, 7 years to train U.S. workers and go back home. Okay, work visa, understand. You come in, do some work, get out. We can't snap our fingers and say, you'll learn how to build ships out overnight. We haven't built semiconductors here for years, he says, adding that bringing overseas talent to retrain American workers is a home run. This is what pisses me off. I've been in the steel industry straight out of high school. Went to welding school, learned how to weld, went into it. I do mechanic work, everything. The thing I see, multiples. One, there are so many guys like me that are out there, and women, that work in the steel industry, shipyards, ironwork. We don't ever get the opportunity to move up in positions, and I know this from experience, because we don't hold bachelor's degrees and shit like that, office work, to run, higher end spots in the shipyards and ironwork. The reason being, I don't know. Because every time they bring in a new supervisor or a foreman with their bachelor's degrees and all this crap, they don't know jack about the trade because they didn't have to start learning how to weld, how to use a torch, how to rig. They don't know any of this shit. So the people like me and others that know this shit, they keep us in the workforce section where we never get the opportunity to move up and train and run stuff because they need us there doing that because they're hiring dipshits that don't know how to do anything. Ask me how I know. My most recent job, working as a foreman in the industry, hanging steel as an iron worker, I was over the field crew. And unfortunately, my field crew didn't know how to weld, didn't know how to use a torch, didn't know how to rig, didn't know how to walk steel, didn't know shit. I was doing it all. Now, so was my superintendent. He was out in the field with me too, because we didn't have any able bodies that knew how to do anything. I mean, don't get me wrong, they showed up for work, but we had to do the work. So this right here really gets to me. We don't get the opportunity. Next up, the shipyard works, okay? I worked out here at this shipyard close to where I live at, Eastern Shipbuilding Group here in Panama City, Florida. They have 3 different yards. I worked at that company for 3 different times. Once I worked until I just got enough of the shit. It was dangerous work. I was still young and I walked away from it. Went and got me a shop job somewhere. Then I went back and I actually got fired. I punched out the safety coordinator. A long story. The last time I was there, I was in the Allenton yard, different shipyard section where they build the ships. And this has been years back. We had a whole bunch of visa workers from Guatemala come in. I'm talking about over 300. And I asked my supervisor, hey man, what's going on? Am I fixing to lose my job? No, Joe, you'll always have a job as long as I've got one, brother. I got laid off. The reason being is because what I was getting paid, they could pay the Guatemalans nearly half. They brought in Connex, it wasn't Connex, it was little tiny homes type of things. Brought all this stuff in, trailers and stuff, there at the yard, and gave them housing right there on the yard. They gave them housing. They pretty much fed them. Wasn't like catered or anything like that, but you know, they had access to stuff and cheaper workforce. And they sit there and say, let me get the phrase again. We can't snap our fingers and say you'll learn how to build ships overnight. Talking about the American workers not knowing how to do anything. No, we're sick and tired of being screwed over. The guys out there, you know how many burn scars I've got all over my body, how many scars I've got from being stabbed by a piece of steel, how many broke bones I've had from falling off buildings, how many times I've been crushed underneath a plate. And they're going to bring in people from the outside to teach us how to do something. Or keep your aces in places, all right? Utilize the people that know how to do this shit to teach the others. Okay, that's just me venting. Put in the comments, let me know what you think. The next article, guys, Trump says U.S. may strike Mexico drug cartels next after boat attacks. This here has me going, what the hell? All right, so as you guys may or may not know, the Mexican government has a big kind of like uprising going on. There's the Mexican people are saying that their president is tied in with drug cartel. They're trying to do their own little maybe type of revolution down there. So now we're discussing going in and blowing up drug cartel in Mexico themselves, and we're asking the Mexican government to allow us in to do this type of work. You know, I have to take a step back. It doesn't matter what I think about drugs and stuff like that, guys. I have to look at sovereignty of a nation. Mexico is its own nation. How is this any different than if another country deems that the methamphetamine problem here in America, where it's not being brought in, they're cooking their own shit, decide that, hey, you know what? These are narco-terrorists, and we need to come into the United States and bomb the shit out of Alabama or Georgia or wherever because it's affecting our people or we don't like it. How's that any difference? Please let me know in the comments, guys. This here has me looking at the whole thing with Venezuela, Colombia, Mexico. There's something else going on here. In my belief and opinion, there's something else going on other than just narco-terrorism. We got to take out the cartel. Most of the cartel was set up by the CIA back in the 70s, 60s and 70s. There's nothing new underneath the sun. You know, in the article, Trump had said, we know where you are, we know your address, we know your front door. Hopefully I got the clip up there for you. We know everything about you. Of course they do. The CIA put them in power, all right? Is the Mexican president involved with the drug cartel? I don't know for sure, but looking at history and looking at how things are run, I would say yes, absolutely. Same with Maduro there in Venezuela. Same with most of these nations, these little countries in South America. Yes, because one of the biggest export is drugs. Absolutely. It just seems like we've got something else going on. I don't believe it's a whole freaking front to fight drugs, especially since the CIA helped build and set up these drug setups. I just don't. Maybe I'm missing something. And please put in the comments what you guys think. But please, I don't want to hear the same shit. Trump, you just have to trust the plan. I don't trust shit. I'm a prepper. I'm a conspiracy theorist. I look at things and question everything, especially when it's coming from a politician, when it comes from our government. You know, we're a prepping channel. I read so much comments from people that are coming to a prepping channel and telling me, you just have to trust the government. Trying to watch my language here. Are you for real? Are you for real? Anyway, guys, that is the video tonight. Hopefully you guys are having a great week. There's a lot of stuff still going on in our country. Our economy is in bad shape. Do what you can to prepare, all right? You know, we discussed Mylar up, dry beans, rice, pastas, sugar, flour, salt, everything that you need to survive with, getting canned goods, dry goods, putting water filtration back. Get supplies, guys. Our country is fixing to get in a hornet's nest, in my opinion. We have too much stuff going on around the world with these other countries, and now we got stuff going on just down south of us. You know, all these other countries, you know, they're across the ponds from us, so we're good. You know, they got a long ways to get to us, which is a misleading concept, by the way. But now we got everything just right underneath us. Latin America, South America, Central America, it's just hundreds of miles away. Just prepare. All right, guys. Speak to y'all later.